I really should have my character open when I start the stream so the thumbnail gets captured. All right, we're going to start with Xena Prygon today and just jump right into it, continue our work. I like that some of them look a little curved. I feel like that gives it a nice quality. So move it out just a little and then bevel it just a little. Like something like that. So it's just like a subtle but nice curve to it. We're very prone to disliking straight lines as people, so I'll try to avoid that myself. Hello, Angel. Welcome. Good morning. Have you seen the VR chat avatar I've been working on? I believe I saw that photo of the protogen. Hello, Jev and Uni Krishnan. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're working on this guy right now. It's going to look like this, so we're slowly piecing everything together. But hello, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Something like this. Need to figure out the back here again. Should be right about there. This should come out. Jev is my friend, by the way. Well, hello, Jev. Welcome. And welcome to my stream. If you're not familiar, I just make VR chat avatars pretty much the whole day. It's my main jam. Looks a little bit tighter here, a little bit smaller, a little bit sleeker. I like this smooth line. I'll have to be a little bit more careful on how we put this together. I have a feeling the face is going to take me the longest to get right. I feel it now. Well, thank you. I'm certainly enjoying putting him together. I like to make a very detailed sculpture to start with, and then we kind of refine it. We'll make a simple version later in order to get it working right. All right. Crease these, bevel them. Maybe decrease this one just a little. Nice rounded look. I like when we can make it look a little soft. There's something about that. It kind of reminds me of like a toy, especially like this back part. What's up, Adam? Hello. Welcome. Yellow. Yellow to you too. Hope you're having a good day. we're piecing together this mech dragon. Long time no see. It has been a while. Have you been up to anything fun? Hopefully you've been up to something fun. Hey, uh, Sistel Lolinda. Sorry if I messed that up. Thank you for the hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Hello, hello. We're slowly chipping away at making this this guy here. Just assigning some materials so it's easy to read visually. I think the legs could be a bit bigger. Maybe we can make the legs a little bit bigger. Yeah, that feels a little more proportional. Oops. Well, I hope everyone's having a fantastic start to their Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday already. I mean, it's not that late into the week, but it still went quick. Still went very quick. Bevel these edges so we get a nice little gap right here. Bam. I think we can delete the tops of these. And add a solidify. Like this. Or no, mirror, then solidify. Yeah. Dope. Tried to get it to uni and failed, except that I've been going through a rigging course since last week. Gotcha. Well, I'm sorry to hear about university. And just to clarify, when you say that, was it like a day or class or just to get in? To gain admission. This is modeling and not sculpting, but we are making the high poly version, so it does count. It would be considered the sculpting portion of any character modeling. Right. And we'll be sculpting another character later today. But also, hello, Hydra. Well, admission. Well, that is rough. That's rough, Adam. I'm sorry to hear that. But at least you got the course. You know, rigging, learning how to rig is a valuable skill. And you can certainly get work doing just that. Bam. And I think we kind of rotate the jaw out. Good morning, Fallout. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. We're going to try to make this groove here. It's darker paneling. Do you know sculpting? I do. I do it quite regularly. I have another avatar I'm working on right now where it's a little bit more traditional sculpting. Why is it moving it there? 9.6 because I have the normal selected. Close it like that. But yeah, let me show you the other avatar we're working on. So the character we're working on is Ebonhorn. So we started his sculpt yesterday. Got into the hair, and that's pretty much where we ended. He's looking pretty good. I'm excited to make him look a little bit more realistic. Pretty good for about 4 hours of work. Many other characters as well. I think my website should be listed below. Oh, you're on YouTube? I don't know how that links, but my website should be there. You can see my portfolio. Done a decent amount of avatars lately. Many. And I always start with a sculpt. We're going to get the eyeball in so I can see exactly how it's working. Yeah, we'll give it like a glow. There. Copy that color and go to emission. Paste it. Looks a little bit more yellow. Make it a little bit more yellow looking. And we'll hit that emission strength. Boom. Nice and glowy. A little bit higher. I'll move it in. Okay, that's a start. Still probably a day or two. Only 2 avatars at my portfolio. Oh, that's right. It doesn't link to my ArtStation. Yeah. Here, let me just show you. But yeah, I have my ArtStation here. Quite a few avatars. And some painting instead. I'll post that in chat. I don't have any courses yet, but I do I do work full time streaming and making avatars. So, well, not streaming, not like a gamer or content creator. I just stream my workday. So, and this is a big making high resolution uh, objects like this with like subdivision modifiers, bevels, things like that. That is a really big part of character sculpting because you don't want to sculpt everything by hand, especially if it's like a hard surface design like this is. That will just take too long and it's kind of inaccurate. Um, so learning how to do modeling like this is, I would say, it's vital um, to the work, to getting good at this kind of work. And if you look at ZBrush, it's kind of hidden, but there are a lot of um, like subdivision features for it. We need to change this because it should have an indent down. Do this. And we'll crease this. A little bit lighter. About there. Extrude it in, fill it, crease it, crease these. I'll probably need to pop out this whole eye socket. That. And then like this. That'll be a little bit easier. We'll put something else behind that a little bit later. Been really wanting to do good with muscle definition sculpting. IDK, if you know of the Belai Bunny by Ghost, I want to make stuff very similar to him, very inspired by Overgrowth. Okay. Overgrowth's that like furry picking simulator. That sounds weird, but where it's like an open world. I've seen that game for, man, it must be like a decade now. Seems to be doing pretty well. Well, I don't know if a really good kind of cheap way to get a good feel for character um, anatomy is to go to like a life drawing class, or use like life drawing resources online. There's a few really good. I can't show them because they've got nude bodies, but that is a very good way to, drawing and sculpting really do synergize. So definitely recommend uh, doing that. Interesting watching you hard surface a full model. It'll take a little while, but it'll be worth it. How did you learn and when did you start sculpting? I started sculpting quite a while ago, maybe 10 years ago, using Sculptress back when that was a thing. um, and it was fun. But I didn't really start taking 3D seriously until about 4 or 5 years ago. Let's say 4 years ago. Um, that's when I started getting into VR chat and stuff. That's when things started connecting. Also, hello Namers. Good morning. Also, and I hope I said good morning to Fallout. Hello. Yeah, there's no other way. I could try to sculpt hard surface, but it's not enjoyable. It's very much not fun to sculpt uh, this kind of stuff. In my opinion, I do not enjoy it. Hey, boss Tony, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if you have any questions. Right now, we're just farting around trying to get this character's head modeled. But welcome to the stream. I think what we'll do is we'll indent this part as well. Like this. Do boundary loop preset. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's close this edge. Actually, I can collapse this as well. Collapse. And collapse. Then we'll close this up. And this. Maybe collapse this too. Subdivision gets so messy. So I don't particularly care for using subdivisions, but we got to do what we got to do. It's like this edge is weird. I just got my coffee and ready to learn. Good. Sit back, relax, let the brain juices cook. I don't know what I'm saying. And this is an odd edge, but we want it here. To get that little shape, which looks good. Maybe bevel it just a little. Come back to that. All right. Then we're going to take this whole chunk in here. And we're going to do face, extrude along normal, so we can push it in. And then we'll select the boundary loop and crease it. Seems like it's already creased. Perfect. Okay. Then we have to go in and clean up all the little corners. Bam. Bam. 0.6, select 0. Close that up. And close that up. All right. Maybe a little bit too deep, but we got the black section carved out now. All right. And this one goes under this little eye shape. Can I even do that here? How I have it set up. It's like this. A little difficult to do, but I think we got it. And this here. Crease this one so there's no weirdness. All right, pretty close. This is weird. Nice and smooth. Select this whole section again. Kind of push it out a little. I'm using Alt S to do that. Give it another material. We call it HP Dark. And we'll make it not shiny. And no specular. All right, a little closer, a little closer. Should be a lot thinner than it is right now. This back section should be much, much thinner. Because it kind of goes under this hook, curves up, and then does the back section. A little bit more like that. A little bit curved right there. Something like that. I'm assuming that weight painting a robotic character like this is simpler. Sometimes. The difficulty, it can be simpler in the sense that you know exactly what should be weighted correctly, but usually how things rotate, especially the shoulders on this character, that might get a little tricky. Um, because like we're gonna do everything we can to avoid the shoulders from pushing into the body. That might get a little challenging. Um, might be unavoidable that they do clip, but so there's kind of affordances for certain things that can get a little tricky. But other than that, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. More trade-off for clipping being a problem. It certainly can be. Certainly can be. Just because it depends on how the design is laid out. Because you know, one challenge with character design is like you can work in a drawing, but can it work in 3D? is a is something that you kind of have to balance a lot of the time. It's like, okay, yes, visually that works, but functionally, does it work? We're about to find out. Bam. All right, we'll do something there. I'm just trying to move this all into place. Something weird. There we go. I guess I could crease these. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, looks better already. Bam. Alrighty. All right, so I think that's looking very good. It's at least in a much better spot. Let's make these other little plates here, which look dope. Also, this should be sharper on the top. Should actually, it does have a little sharpness right there, which I like. Okay, so let's make a plane, move it up, move it back. We're going to cut it, delete the sides, slap on a mirror. This is the usual steps: mirror, subdivision, and then we'll steal the bevel. Very interesting to see how this guy will look walking around in VR. It looks so cool. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a lot of times you see like a bunch of Titanfall avatars. Probably feel a little similar to that. That's because I keep leaving the local settings on 0.6. There we go. Okay, I just wanted this nice little curve shape right here because it'll be necessary for the black portion. Put a cut here. All right, now we can rotate, kind of lower this. Hit some more subdivision. Can move this back, both of these back. So it has this kind of scalloped edge. It comes up, it goes back, but it does have like a slight curve to it, it feels like. That or something. This goes down. We increase this edge. And sharpen this edge. All right, closer. Let's turn off our other objects here. So we can focus on just this. All right, all right. I'm using double tapping G twice there to move it back and forth. Okay. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Okay. Now we'll hit it with a solidify. Hello, Edhorn. Welcome. Good morning. Put it above the bevel. Make it a little bit thicker. About there, so. Now I may have to get rid of it. We'll see. So I need to isolate that selection. This edge. Right here. We'll bevel. Take the edges, crease them. And then face extrude in. There we go. A little bit more. Right about there. Then we can copy the materials from this one. Excuse me. Goodness. Oh, I sneeze again. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll blow my nose. I'm back. Ready to attack. Okay, take this edge and just give it that slight little curvature. Thing can be creased. All right, all right, all right. Decent, decent. Always more editing we can do, but I'd rather try to block out 99% of the character first. Let's get everything into place, because if I focus on the details right now, it'll be a lot harder to edit later. Dope. Dope. My cat wants to say hi. You say hi, Lex? You want to say hi? Oh, hello, everyone. I'm just a stinky, tushy wushy. Where? 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 Now I'm covered in fuzz. Oh, a baby. She is a baby. A dumb baby. Just tear up the carpet right now. Doing. Good morning, Art. Hello, Stinky. She is Stinky. She is definitely Stinky. Good morning, Arctic. Hello, hello. All right, let's make this back paneling so it's dark here and there. Maybe I'll make just this one dark. And then we'll extract the panels on top of it, like this. Push the solidify out. I see, I didn't select the whole chunk. bam. Select the loops. What would be the process for making a hard surface beveled character like this into a low poly anyways? Um, it is the same. So there's a process called retopology, and that's basically what we'll be using to do this with. We'll make a cage over it. So like all these panelings right here, these like this is going to be like 4 or 5 separate objects here. I'll probably try to turn that into one object that's like wrapped around it. Same for like the arm, perhaps even the tail will all be one object just wrapped over it. Think of it like saran wrap or something. Trying to close it up. Then we'll take this chunk here, duplicate, separate, increase the solidify amount, just make it a little thicker. And then scooch it over. We can delete this vertex right here. Do a cut right there, delete that. And just one more cut here. And select everything, boundary loop, crease. All right, pretty close. I think we can move this edge further down and crease this as well. Noise. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm going to select all the objects in the head. And we're just going to move it up and forward, I think. It's going to be hard to fit all these things together. But we'll do our best. Do our best. It's going to be a lot of back and forth jostling of pieces. I think we need to make the neck just a little thinner. But that's looking cool. It's got like a Digimon vibe. What was that show with the like, was it Zoids? I can't remember. Something like that. There was a mech show. That's what this reminds me of. Zoids. Okay, yeah. I thought so. I couldn't quite remember. That sounds right, but a bit unsure. All right, let's make these little chest pieces here. So do our classic. You know what? I'm actually going to cheat a little. I'm going to take this, duplicate it, move it down here, move it into the body, delete it, make a plane. start here. Actually, I don't need to delete it. Should be like this. Yeah. And then we'll bevel them. No, I said beveled. Take our mirror, move it down, give it the mirror axis so that you just move this into place. Bevel more. And it kind of touches the circle here. Oh, balls. Do a cut in the back. All right. And it's also rotated quite a bit down. Maybe even like this too. Satisfying. Definitely has some, it definitely goes in front of the circle, so further forward. Cool. It's feeling really cool now. It's all coming together. So this is the best part of this work. I think I could cut this right here and then delete this top portion so it doesn't go any further up. Or maybe make this a little bit bigger. The internals are definitely made up. We'll be making those up. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. Switch up the lighting a little. Hello, Sam. I'm currently on Unity making a VR chat avatar. Do you have any idea of what I could make? Um, I think you should make one of your monsters. You should make a monster of some sort. Do a sculpture, retopologize it, make a like an orc or SCP or something like that. That'd be fun. Also, kind of reminded me of the Power Ranger machines where they could combine all of them, though a little more color coordinated and less man in cardboard box vibes. I can do it. He's literally in a cardboard box. You know, those were the days. Those were the days. Get rid of the solidify in this one. You know what? I'm just going to cheat. And we're simply just going to copy the shapes from in here. Because I'm lazy. Hello again, Sam. I'm currently on you. I believe I already answered your question. Should make a monster. Twas my suggestion. All right, I'm gonna block you if you keep spamming this question. Sorry, is that the star stream? Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, I would do a monster of some kind. It's always fun. Can't go wrong with monsters. And these should be right about here or so. Gotcha. And I think we'll make our this a little bit thicker here. Um, I suggested making a monster. A little bit thicker there. I'll let you choose. Okay. I think could make like to kind of squeeze it in a little bit. Like this. Kind of squish it in, and then we'll get a nice bevel right about there. Yes. It's interesting because a lot of these shapes have just a little bit of curve to them. Not a lot, but just enough where it doesn't feel like a um, harsh edge. Like even right here, this one is very boxy. But if you look at the drawing, you can see that it has just a little soft curve on the side. And that really does seem to make all the difference in like how it feels. This one can use a little bit more bevel though. All right, let's let's switch it up. We're gonna step away from the body because I feel myself kind of slowing down on it. We're gonna instead turn our attention to the wings. It is a little difficult to see how they attach, though. I mean, they must connect on the back. Would it be this? Probably this spot right here. This little socket. I'm going to assume that because we are missing that information in the drawing. But we'll start with the just overall shape. Take a plane, move it over, and of course, subdivision. Can't do anything but a subdivision. And then extrude over to this side. This is actually my usual MO for wings right here, or any sort of object. Start with the broad strokes. We'll push that here. Lux. Lux is back, ready to yell for snacks. All right, these three right here, I will vertex crease. So I can push this up and we get these nice silhouette curved shapes. Bam. Okay, so we got the general shape of it. Put our cursor right here. Should be much bigger though. Perhaps like that big. Okay. All right. And while we're working on these, I will scale this one up. Actually, just look at this like that. 0.6. Shift C. And now it should be a little bit easier to work with. Okay. We'll take the outer edge, hit it with the space from Loop Tools. A little messy. At least the outer part. Okay. One of my favorite tricks is just extracting geometry from one object to start the other one. So for example, these little shells up top, I'm just going to take this edge and start with that. No reason to have to redo work. Okay. And then we'll add a mirror modifier to the top on the y-axis. Probably something like this. Crease this. Edit. Crease. Crease again. I can't rotate them for some reason. Can't scale them. This always happens, but I can't remember what it is. That prevents me from default. Don't the gizmo. Can't scale it. Or it's just these two I can't scale. Okay, they were just in the exact same spot. Even though it didn't look like it on the subdivision modifier, they were literally in the same position. So there's nothing to scale. Oh, I heard fall in the room. I think that's to no good. I'll be right back. She found a plate of food and was munching away. All right. This looks quite good. I'm enjoying this. Okay. Take the outer edge, crease it as well. Then this little thin edge will crease, move in a ways. And there. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Bevel again. Oh, that was too many bevels. Just one segment, please. Bam. All right. Okay, one down. Excuse me. Duplicate again. Oh, this is gonna be cool. Can't go wrong with a cool set of wings. Can't go wrong. Well, maybe except for Icarus, but take our G stretch. Bam. Okay. Let's turn up our subdivision a few times just to give it our details. What's going on in there? What's going on in there? What is going on there? Something feels weird about this section. I'm just going to dissolve this. And I can cut there, and then there. We can just dissolve that. All right. All right, that panel is done. Now, usually they connect, but it looks to me like there's these little circular discs where they actually connect. And it's kind of hidden within this casing. We'll need some sort of like understanding of what's going on in there to make it properly. Hey, Nammers, a subscription, Nammers. Thank you. Much appreciated. You're too kind. You are too kind. Thank you. Thank you. Duplicate that. Move it over here. RX90. And squish it down. All right. This is definitely one of those processes where I'm going to get a little lost in the sauce. So feel free to ask questions, everyone, but I'll probably be spacing out a little bit as I try to figure this stuff out. Or a lot of it. A little more spacey than usual. All right, that's working. I'll have this little segment there. And then I'm going to take this edge, or no, actually this edge, duplicate it. I can't see that at all. Separate it. Set origin to geometry. Something right there. Increase this. Extrude it. Delete that. Boom, boom. Crease. And I guess we will bevel. I don't have a bevel. Give me a bevel. this up a little. Can't. Looks a little weird right there. We'll come back to that though. Squish it down. Move this up. This section should be over here. This. Something similar. We'll take this face here, duplicate it, move it there. A little hard to gauge where it should be, but okay. Okay. That will work. And bam. All right. Decrease these ones. A little bit of a chip here, but I can live with that. And bevel. Doop. This one's not beveling as nicely. Let's switch this to a percent bevel. Be improved. Just not like this edge. All right, we're going to live with an end gone. This is not something I'd usually make, but it does work for this circumstance. Maybe. Much better. Okay. Acceptable end gone. Exactly. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. Acceptable gone. Acceptagon. Beautiful. And then one more little bar piece, which will separate. This one we want to be further in a little and smaller, like that. Bam. There we go. So so used to not worrying about end guns because the only making things for blender stills, but I must adjust. It can get tricky when you're bringing it into Unity if you have end guns, but a lot of times they're okay. A lot of times they're okay. They're just chill little guys. Just funky little end guns. This is definitely scratching an itch that I didn't know I had, which was to make like Zoids and Transformer style stuff. It definitely just takes me back to being a being a kid. Like, oh yeah, this is awesome. How animated are the wings going to be? I'll definitely add fizz bones to them. Um, there's nothing in the client's description of what exactly they'd be looking for in terms of animations, but I usually like to include like an open close control or up and down, something like that. Hello, Seaman. Hello, Cryo Coma. Welcome. Welcome. Have you ever done fully hard surface model characters in the past? Because it looks amazing. Thank you. I have. So Zoom, shout out to Zoom if you're out there. I made a robot for them, um, and I've made this guy. I also made this one. This one's very popular. Um, People really go crazy for these guys, but Murder Drone N. So yeah, I've done some robots, but it just usually ends up being um, hey, Smogen Flix. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Super appreciated. Um, yeah, I made this tripod. This is my very first avatar commission. Was the tripod from War of the Worlds, and it's actually to scale. Like in VR, you're like the size of one of these little foot things. So that was pretty fun. Um, yeah, a decent amount. This guy, this guy's a nice little mix. The quest app. Oh yeah, fun stuff. Um, that sounds terrifying. Lol. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Now, only in VR chat can you really make stuff like that and enjoy it easily. But yeah, Fryo, welcome. We're working on a VR chat avatar. So if you're not familiar with VR chat, it's like a platform where we can upload custom content and stuff. So I do commissions for people to make VR chat avatars. If they want a custom character, that's where I come in. Uh, and I do this full time. So pretty much I stream my full workday to share what I know. And yeah, Smogen clicks. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Definitely, really begun to embrace and enjoy this. So appreciate you saying that. And can I select similar? Oops. Oh, that works. We'll give them the bevel. And we have to add the bevel. Not working great. I wonder what about it is preventing it from pushing further. Oh, it's still a little softer than it was. I think I will get rid of the crease on this edge. Get that roundedness. Yes, yes. Okay, that looks cool. All right. Now I think it's time to start making the little red chunks in here. These guys, rounded tubes. Um, do I use subdivision? I might use a curve for this. Yeah, let's use a curve. Bezier. And we'll give them some depth geometry. Though I suppose the bummer about these is that the caps are left undone. Doesn't have to match exactly. And lastly, this one. This time we'll subdivide this one. Get it to come out. Or, you know what? I'll just put it right here because we can't see it go any further. It just goes to the edge and into this little socket and it stops. So, bam. Socket to it. All right. And then I'll just slap on a subdivision. I'm lazy. Noise. A noise. There we go. A little bit thicker. I think even thicker. It's just, it needs to feel mechanical. They feel a little wispy if they don't have enough thickness. It's like, okay, is this supposed to lift this mechanical creature? They have to have at least look like they can support it. All right. And I do think we'll give the wing some thickness as well. We'll have to solidify at 0. Just a little thicker. Bam. And you know what? Also, a bevel. Ooh, okay. Now, all of these, I'll parent to this, or child to this object. So we can move this stuff around. Feel like it's the correct size. Now we need to figure out how it actually connects to the body here. I'll leave it for now. Feeling a little lazy. Okay, and let's also make a collection for the wings. HP wings. That's looking super cool though. Very satisfactory. Missing chunk in here. Oh, that's right. There's some differences between this little spot on both of those. So we'll have to leave that alone. What else? What next? Let's make a backup copy. We've done a lot of work. Don't want to risk losing it all. Definitely need to work on the arms, so let's start there. Gonna hide the legs as well, just so easier to work on. And we'll make another. No, we already have an arm collection. Just put it in there. And what do we got? So we got like a little square that's extruded on both sides. So make a cube. Drop it right there. Already makes me feel like this is not wide enough. Okay. All right. We will add a mirror because I'm lazy. Drop it right there. Cut this. Keep it off for now. We might not use it actually. Take the front. Extrude this way. And then extrude this way. Okay. 3D modeling art in general hurts my head. It's not too bad once you know it, but definitely takes some time to learn. Fun to watch though. Good, good. I'm glad to hear that. It is fun. If that makes you feel any better. It is fun to do. Um, I just feel like at this point, I'm still. I've just expanded. You know, when I was a kid, I enjoyed playing with Legos. It kind of feels like I just do that professionally now. Professional mech builder, exactly. It looks like the elbow has this little bolt joint. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we can see it right there. I still draw, but digi art is hard for me because I'm left-handed. Interesting. I know a lot of tablets are built to be reversible, um, or for left-handed peoples. I'm gonna turn the legs for a second. Take this, duplicate it, and we're gonna steal it for this. Still saving up for one. Exciting. Well, that's exciting. I think you'll love it. I think you know, it's always a little difficult to start with, but once you get in the rhythm of it, it's so much fun. There is intense satisfaction in being able to make the things you can think of. Bring the things from your brain into the world. That didn't change the legs, did it? Very good. that that'd be rough, but it did not change the legs, so we're good. I mostly browse Pinterest and subreddits to look at people's art. I love seeing what people are capable of making. Then you have AI. I hate AI. There's definitely some major issues with how it's trained. Um, I don't see it going away, but I certainly think that we'll have to be on top of people will have to be on top of advocating for how it should be utilized. Do some this. It's like a Mario coin. Put that up here. Um, I do use I have used. I don't use it very often, but I have used generative AI and stuff, and it's hard to imagine it going away at this point. Pinterest is so littered with AI and art now, despite it not being allowed. Yes. The one nice part is there's no copyright. You just it's yours now. Hoping that means some artists will follow. I follow will come out of hibernation with that. Um, in terms of knowing that there's no copyright, I really miss a lot of them. Yeah, I don't really understand the idea of stepping away from art. Like, I certainly understand that things are changing, and that in and of itself will breed a lot of insecurity. But if we're looking at an AI future, it's like it really doesn't matter what industry you're going to be in the long run. Like, you're, every industry, you can't. Where are you going to go to avoid it? There's no spot that won't be affected by AI eventually. Ugh. Thing is that AI is really self-correcting while expanding its own database knowledge, using that over less preferred methods like data splicing and image mesh. Um, Not quite sure what you mean by that, but AI right now is the stupidest it'll ever be, and that's true every day, even as it makes progress. Glaze plus Nightshade combo letting artists protect their work. Yes, I am a big fan of uh, the. I do think it's very important we understand how we can adapt these systems, and especially if they're not working as we would desire. If artists, sexual artists give up on digital and Wacom use that AI art recently. Yeah, but again, it's like, ugh, are you doing it for? We gotta. I just think that that's very self-defeatist to step away just because Wacom's using it. It's like, if anything, it's just gotta find open source stuff. Anyway, I have a somewhat different perspective than some artists, but certainly understand what everyone's feeling. A lot of artists that just disappeared or have gone and just taken jobs they take because they don't want to get to make stuff that gets scraped. feel like that is a mistake in the long run because there's no place you can go where AI is not going to affect it in some way eventually. Maybe not at this current moment. I wish them well. I think that they will eventually come back to art and producing work for themselves, and I hope they do because you know, that really will be what probably provides them the most value in the long run. And I don't think AI art's that good. That's what it really comes down to. It's like you look at people like art's gonna replace movies and this and that, and it's just like a bunch of really terrible still images, slightly moving with zero coherence. It's like maybe eventually that'll go away, but man, it's gonna be a while. And guess who you would need in order to make those things actually good? It's like not just in the sense that you'd have to use it to like train your work or something, but like you need people with taste to make tasteful things. AI alone is bad. It's just a knife. It's one of the most useful tools in human history. You can also stab people with one, and a lot of AI art pundits are all too happy to stab artists. Oh, absolutely. Those are the first. Those people are the worst. They're actually like disgusting. People who like take glee in the idea of replacing artists. But it's so funny because they will be the first people that they're the most expendable people in the whole situation. Their advocacy is like so funny to me because they have the most replaceable part of the whole skill set. How am I gonna make this little thing here? Back up a few steps. I feel like digital art's always going to be preferred over AI because it's more than just a pretty picture. 100%. Like I look at a lot of art generated and otherwise, and it's like it really makes me appreciate. There's just zero. It's like chess, right? Chess is solved. Chess has been the most solved thing for a long time. Like it was one of the first areas AI beat humans. But chess has never been more popular than right now because we don't care about AI doing things better than us. We care about humans doing things well. Like that's actually what interests us. Um, I don't think that will ever go away. AI developed to correctly ID bread and pastries being used to ID cancer cells. I hope that's all we got right now. AI is still in its infancy, no telling how it develops. Stockfish be like, y'all forgot me. Just if it gets to the point where it has no meaning to us, then we won't actually care about it in the long run. And I think really do think a lot of AI art just immediately becomes uninteresting and unappetizing. Hello, Chandru359 for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hello. We're working on this big mech guy. We've got a few pieces together. He's looking pretty good though. One step at a time. Anyway, I certainly can rant about AI for a long time. I have been known to do so. um, but I think that AI will probably change things less than people realize. They'll just make certain things a lot nicer. Because at the end, it's like you still need a human. it's going to be a long time till we're at the AGI level. Um, Maybe not a long time, but anyway, I could rant more, but I will refrain. All right, so now we want to make these little shells on the back. Take this edge. Okay, let's set the cursor here and set the origin to 3D cursor. So that way they'll rotate around this. Generative AI, text, images, code, etc. You need to develop extreme copyright infringement. Really needs reining in. Honestly, believe that if you could choose and that a no is respected, a lot of people would actually allow including their work. I don't disagree. I definitely don't disagree. It'll be interesting because it's a difficult argument to say because like the whole argument is that it's not transformative a lot of the times. And I think that will get harder to argue against AI as time goes on. If that makes sense? Like, I think that, you know, if you feed a bunch of, if I, if I read a bunch of books, you can't put a bunch of books through a blender and then expect anything for it to do anything afterwards, but you can put a bunch of books through a blender and then get some ability for it to do things, to understand things, and that's bizarre. That's like probably the utmost definition of transformative. Um, so I think the arguments against it, against copyright, it'll be interesting because it certainly needs to be respected, but there will be different arguments that need to happen because the transformative angle, I alone would just be like, hey, it just needs, if it's replacing human labor, then we need to be working towards UBI, universal basic income. It like, or copyright or not, if it's replacing human labor, then that money that it generates needs to go into Social Security or universal basic income. Like, there's just no other way. We can't expect anything else. If we're replacing what we do, then difference is humans think AI does not. It's just an advanced predictive text. It that may not that may be what it is right now. That will not be what it is in the future. Is really what I'm trying to say is like, yes, it does lean more towards prediction, but I mean the it is, I think that you it is thinking. It may not be thinking like people, and it may not be thinking at the same level as people yet. But I do think that it does, there is some level of thought process going on, for sure. Otherwise, it wouldn't be doing anything useful. Like if it could only ever predict things that already happened, then it wouldn't have any ability to generate novel things. But I think, even if you dislike generative art, it is doing things that it can do things that are outside its training data. True, but thinking back on it, any ideas based off of something else, someone's personal spec, something else can cause, because we all learn through our environment. Yeah, I think it's kind of a recursive. It's turtle all the way down. We learned because someone else learned because someone else learned because someone else learned, and AI does a very similar thing. People hear AI and think Legion from Mass Effect. We're absolutely not at that point. I think that the we will get to that point much sooner than people expect. Not necessarily like, you know, death, but certainly the ability for it to assist in like experts at expert level tasks. I think it will be there quite quickly. Let's put this right here. Z. Do I model the arms straight down? I think so. I think that'd probably be the easiest. Um, AI doesn't learn through its environment, it has to be actively fed data by a human, and you can delete specific thing from databases, from the data sets. We're supposed to have flying cars, hoverboards by now. I mean, sort of. Maybe at this moment, but you can already, there's already in bots that are walking around digital or, and physical environments learning from them, learning how to open drawers and things like that. And those, it does come with a lot of repetition, maybe perhaps more repetition than a human would need. But that gap between it being taught things only that we give it and its ability to learn on its own is really, it's closing super quickly. um, Faster than any other form of technology. Let's put the cursor right here. Bam. And we'll kind of scoot that one in, crease it. Right about there. All right, let me see the arm. Anyway, I think it's difficult because uh, these systems will. I mean, it's kind of like this. Like, would we recognize intelligence in an alien? Like, even right now, we look at a lot of things like sponges, trees, and fungus and stuff, and we say, "Oh, they don't think." But the reality is, they are making decisions. They just don't think in a way we understand. Like, even the way we contextualize our own thoughts is would be so different from like slime molds, which make decisions that are much more efficient than we could ever plan out, and tackle sets of problems in ways we actually cannot comprehend. Um, um, and it's like someone made this analogy that I really liked. It's like, if someone said that alien life was going to land on planet Earth in 10 years at this time and this date, it's like that is actually very similar analogy to AI. It's like we're making the aliens. Going back to the book theory, in every technical aspect, you can make a book from randomly generated text library. Noble is a great example. Digital library, it's every possible combination of letters. Flying car would be less efficient than the traffic. In order, starting to get around a Googleplex of books, but they do understand things. They understand, like, a clear example is their ability to understand sentiment. Like, it's not just that they produce words. It's like they can read a phrase and understand the emotional intent behind a phrase. It's like that's actually that's a concept. Like, not saying that the language algorithms aren't advancing well, but it's not comparable with a living thing. Humans are very, very good at emotion and objects. It's an actual real problem. I'm not concerned. Well, I'm not equating it to emotional. Bomb disposal users have been known not to send out their favorite bots on jobs because they don't want to lose them. um, I think it will be clear that quickly that AI is doing a little bit more than just regurgitating things. Um, and it's not necessarily like a good thing. There's certainly going to be an endless amount of problems that develop from the ability to have intelligent objects or imbue things with intelligence. Maybe not human intelligence, but you know, cameras, surveillance, these kinds of things. Like, I think we are right to be extremely wary of this kind of technology. But I do fundamentally disagree with the idea that it's just isn't human intelligence, or that human intelligence is somehow different from the intelligence of these creatures. That's really the only idea I disagree with. I think that intelligence itself is probably pretty ubiquitous in the world. Uh, we can train human brain cells in a petri dish to play Pong. Like, is that human intelligence? Not. It's not as we conceptualize it. Time to become less predictable and confuse the robots. It's true. Anyway, I don't mean to. Hopefully, I'm not coming across too strong in my opinions. I just, these things will definitely become much more and more. These conversations will become more and more relevant as time goes on. Um, and Arctic, you're talking about like the emotional attachment to bots, like uh, that will certainly be something we see developed really, really rapidly, like um, you know, digital companions, that kind of thing. I mean, that's basically already here, um, and that will come with a very distinct set of issues. um, you know, whole like there's already people making anime or marrying anime characters, and those literally aren't intelligent in the most definitive sense of the word. Um, it's just purely a fictional character. But priority can be given a value based off several factors. I feel like people forget we are in every aspect machines. Our brains, this computer, a shit ton of neurons, and IMO. I feel like emotions are a side effect of self-observation and personally biased, like gaining a friend because they make you happy, or sacrifice yourself because the perceived value of someone else's is higher than your own. I'd like to think that morals, emotions are a byproduct of intelligence. Not that just intelligence, but the intelligence itself is what gives us emotion. Um, like people call psychopaths, sociopaths, lizard brains for a reason because they don't have that ability to imagine someone else's perspective. All for digital companions, they're neat, can actually help people. Same. The guy that married his Miku hologram, it saved him from suicide. IIRC. Yes, I think that the people at the margins of society and people who just genuinely would be unable to get help in a normal context will be people that benefit most immediately from AI companionship and technology. Like, imagine the elderly, just at home. They're good people, but they don't have people to talk to or interact with or to help them. Um, I'd like to think social security programs will benefit immensely from this kind of stuff. Um, social welfare programs, the ability to like check in on people and make sure people are okay. for them to get the resources they need, that kind of stuff. And showering new mothers and hormones to stop them eating the screeching potato infant son. Yep. Yeah. But either way, all we're definitely promised with all this new technology is the most interesting time to be alive. It certainly will be an adventure we all get to join in on together. I think that Miku hologram software stopped getting support recently. They didn't talk anymore. Um, it's really sad, but also, I mean, like, I think at least he, has open source options these days. But at that point, he was in a good enough headspace that he was ready to say goodbye. Bam. Miku is our future. Miku hive mind. The only problem with environment-based learning, like crowdsourcing, because if you don't have no morals, it will intake everything, like actually everything. Project generated by except our new Miku overlord. There is value in uncensored and unfiltered models. That, of course, is not any way to avoid the problems that they will create. But I think it's very important that there's options that aren't mandated by some sort of federal agency or whoever happens to be in control of the intelligence. But do you think that Tesla fanboys, if their car could to them like Miku, would marry Miku? Would marry their car, I should say. I do keep thinking to myself that if my job is if it becomes uncompetitive to do this kind of work in the face of like generative AI, that I would switch my skills and focus on uh, outfitting androids. Take what I'm doing here into the physical. Yeah, if he'd said, "Oh, you had a fanboy Hooters mode," Hong Hong Kong. If VR chat for mobile is a thing now, does that mean you can play it? I think you can play games. No, no, do not give them ideas. Well, it's a good thing Teslas don't have tailpipes. The only reason Teamsters don't have tailpipes. Oh, that's funny. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. AI bordellos. That becomes a thing. I'm gonna be painting a mural with a 12G. This should have more resolution. Be a little bit sharper. There we go. Okay, there we go. Fully 3D printed cars with custom inner models. I would love a 3D printed like horse. Like ride like a mechanical horse. That'd be cool. I think there's a book based on that. Oh, 3D printed wings. That'd be cool. You could probably make them big enough to at least glide on. I mean, that's just a hang glider at that point. Dude, a 3D printed horse would be so sick. It'd be awesome. I do think that pets, 3D printed pets, will be huge. Be one of the biggest markets immediately before androids. Bum, 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 bum. All right, that's looking dope. Oh yes, my doggo that feels nothing every time he looks at me. I get a taste of lithium and steel. Fun. Well, be first. 3D printed pets or pet holograms? Probably the holograms. Probably the holograms. Oh. But here's the thing: you could. How do you? If you instill an AI with the metric of feel like emotion, like I have an attachment emotion. It's like or a metric. It's like, isn't that pretty close? Does VR pass through would work just as well with hologram? Yes, yes, 100%. I think any sort of external visuals will be are going to be superseded by VR for sure. For sure. All right, let's see how proportional this is. A little too big. These ones. Again, no feel can't give boobs. I'm sad, such pain, much pain. It'll still work. I think that robots will maybe not feel emotions in the same way humans do, but you'll have a hard time arguing that they don't feel anything at all. and or that because you it's just as easy to argue, do humans actually feel anything? It enters that very ambiguous space of, are humans consciousness? What is it? What is emotion? um, but more importantly, it will absolutely not matter once you can make something as cute as a cat that acts very similarly. People will pay mucho money for that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna make another collection here called Backup. And then we'll duplicate these, hide the duplicate, take these ones into Backup. Alt H. I want to combine everything except the mirror. But until then, my idiot flesh bag that I love and cherish will be a great subject. I can't imagine life without a living, breathing pet. But I just think that they'll be popular. But popular in the same way like toys will be, you know? I mean, just think of it this way. Nintendo could 3D print Pokemon that do Pokemon stuff in real life. It would be the biggest market, one of the biggest markets on the planet. 3D print cat option, 3D printed Freddy Fazbear. Much love, cat. Vaporeon. Oh god. No comment. Yeah. Let's make one axis here, which we'll call foot axis. Premiere foot. Hello, Angel. Hope the stream is going well. I'm going to add Go Go Loco to my custom avatar. Nice. Dude, scrap the horse. I want to ride an Arcanine to the store. Heck yeah. Feet. Feet. Feet feel a little too big. Is Entei a Pokemon? I do not know Entei. I honestly, there's so many Pokemon I don't know anymore. One day I'll catch up on Pokemon. I thought you said that was Pokemon. Gotcha, gotcha. we're going to separate this one. Hide the bevel. Give it a subdivision surface. Crease all the edges. Then make a hole right here. And right here. Bevel. Can I do a percentage bevel instead? Oh, Lord. Broke. I'm super tired. Okay, fine. If you eat rice, you're eating rocks. Same with salt. Delicious, delicious rocks. I mean, I believe there's quite a few cultures that do just straight up eat rocks. Stone soup, something like that. All right, I want to do another subdivision up top. Hide the bevel. Get all and crease it. Then we want to make this little chunk through it. Chunk. Which I believe we can just put the cursor right here, take the indent. Indent down to like right there. Boom. Yeah, stone soup is a wise tale of scamming and gaslighting. I mean, I know some of them actually do have nutritional content, like high concentrations of iron and stuff like that. I'm working on a model for VR chat that has a curled tail similar to a chameleon. Do you think I should model it straight or curled? Depends on how tight the curl is, and if you want it to ever uncurl. If you want it to uncurl at some point, then I would recommend modeling it straight and then creating a bone animation to roll it up. As long as your weight painting has a lot of overlap, smooth overlap between the bones, it will curl quite nicely, um, smoothly. Um, if it is going to be permanently curled, then you might as well just fuse it uh, if you never want it to open. Never. I guess I have to apply solidify. Okay, looks cool. I would like to make it uncurlable. Uncurlable. All right, let's get rid of the solidify and do face extrude. We'll manually extrude all this and then crease it all except for the corner in here. We'll uncrease. It's still not behaving like I would expect it to. Actually, let's double check. Does it actually curve? Going cross-eyed trying to figure out how long it would need to be to look right when curled. um, Thankfully, the tails are easy to adjust afterwards, so unless it's fused directly to the body, even then it's not too bad. Go longer than you think is kind of my rule of thumb. That works. It's on the back here. Now this stuff really does remind me of my childhood. These little gunplay looking plastic pieces. Gunpla. 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 Sorry. Making random sounds now. All right. That looks dope. I'm going to duplicate this guy. Move him right there. I don't know if that's what I want, but we'll leave it there for now. How to attach the wings will be a fun question. And the hand, even more interesting. If you spend a week on a commission, the customer turn on cloning. I suppose it's just, if they want people to clone it, then, I guess it's not. It's their choice. Their what would be the word? Consequences. Their consequences. Find 8. All right, y'all. I have to go to the restroom really quick. I'll be right back. One moment. In the meantime, I'll set this guy up to look really cool. Well, look how cool he is. All right, be right back. I have returned. What a cool guy, standing all menacing. Smash, honestly. Somewhere in front, but it's nail soup. Actually, you describe we threw whatever we had in the kitchen into a pot and made soup meal. Nail soup makers were out of food. Looks over at 2x4s. That'll do. So our started scammer is a good, clever guy, and the one being just framed as someone who deserved it. Well, makes sense when we're perceived as stupid or foolish. Interesting. Um, yeah, I think that I, you know, nail soup is about 2 days away from human soup, long pork soup. More that women or house ladies were in charge of the home and the food. Nail guy's a vagabond that wants feeding. Lady is a skin flint. Doesn't want to feed him for free, so he says he just needs a pot of water because he has a nail that makes the best soup ever. Interesting. A skin flint? I've heard that phrase before. Is this perhaps a Icelandic word? We definitely have to make up whatever is going on in the groin here. Skinflint equals Tidar, someone that doesn't not want to share money or anything with anyone for nothing. Interest. Opposite of generous. Person who spends as little money as possible. Cheapskate. Interesting. That's it. I think it's my first time I've ever heard that word or that phrase. It's a cool phrase. I like that. Skinflint. It kind of sounds like Skinwalker to me though. Like scared. Are you asking me or Arctic? Bridge, cut, and her Tidars. I thought it was a Irish thing. Just UK phrase in general. Interesting. Can attest I'm Scottish. Scottish! Maybe it's the time of day, but I feel like I end up. There's a lot of Europeans that come by. Probably the time of day. I mean, everyone else here in the States is working. Maybe. Perhaps smooching. Live in the land of the free and the home of the deranged, and Arlita has dementia. seems to be a seems to be a requirement for presidential candidacy these days. Usually I sleep right now, but I'm trying to fix my sleep. It's only night owls say that. Only night owls say that. Like when it's 10 or 9, there's no way I can stay up later than that. I will just fall asleep standing up if it comes down to it. Like I do not have that ability to stay up late. For New Year's, I stayed up till midnight, and it messed me up for a few days afterwards. Me for the last 20 years. don't want it to do this, though. I guess I just need another cut. Like this. Up here. I guess that helps, but it still kind of flares off on the side, and I do not enjoy that. There we go. Just go to bed earlier. Sure, I love staring at the ceiling for 5 hours straight. So easy to stay up late but get up early. Heck. I don't think I have a choice when the sun's up. I just see it. The light wakes me up. I got thin eyelids. Twitter is a good way to time travel. Make the day go by quick. Darn. Messed that up a little. Cool. This looks sort of really satisfying, honestly. Honestly. Sorry. Is that offensive? Video preview really makes the guy comes alive. It does. It really does. I feel like Harry Potter ruined my British accent. I don't have a British accent, just my impression of one. What's the phrase for like a Scottish accent? Is that called a brogue? Broge? Bro- Is there a phrase for that? Am I imagining? Am I crazy? Does that even think? If there is, you will know more than me. Like I mean, it's weird to talk about. There's no accent for you. You know, accents only exist from the outside perspective. There we go. Learn to speak without a lot of my slang because my partner's from the West and I want her to know what I'm saying. Gotta rein it in. I think you need to go the other way and just teach her to speak in a Scottish accent, you know. Do any of you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Ooh, I'll do a Swedish accent. Swedish plumber. They don't know who you are. It's so good. I think I'm going to delete this because it's looking a little silly here. It's looking a little silly. Doesn't feel right. I like this though. This is fun. I am a Swedish pop. Fuck, I love that show. I'll dissolve this one. All right, that looks like an attachment point of some sort. All right, that feels pretty natural. Maybe not exactly to the specifications of paint. I think we can just flatten it. Bam. Oh, I like that. That looks really cool. And I think it'd be even cooler if we actually had a little like, entrance in there, because that way we'll bake a little bit of ambient occlusion and it'll look tasty. Yes, yes. Boom. A little bit more. Boom. Awesome. All right. Okay, let's make the joints. I think that's really what we're missing now. We can see a little joint here on the leg or the hip. So we'll start with that one. Are the wings gonna be mostly shaders? Definitely the sparkly texture. Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm looking forward to that. The Poyomi shader has the ability to create depth, like a parallax depth, and iridescence. So I think I'll probably gonna do a mixture of both. Um, because I love the idea. It's gonna look so good. Thank you. I'm very pumped about it. Shaders are like they're they're magic. They feel cool. It's like I'm just gonna make this thing that you couldn't make in real life. Bam. All right. But we're missing these little flaps on the side. And actually, it looks like there's a little platform from these guys that just missing completely. So move those over. Probably move the whole leg over a little bit as well. Like this. Haven't messed around with shaders all that much. Excited to see the magic happen. Koyomi's my favorite for VR chat. It has saved my butt time again. So I really tend to just continue using that um, shader. Set origin to geometry. Go from the side view. We need a solidify. Looks at the booty. We're missing his flaps. The flaps. You know, the butt flaps. Give him the flaps. Mud flaps. It's so literal with them. Literally has mud flaps. That's fun. Poor guy. Um, classic mech butt runners. It stabilizes, you know. I wonder if I should have them rotated slightly to like line up with the leg. I feel like I should. It looks a little bit more correct. And then we'll have some sort of attachment here, just like the elbow. This should be the leg. Start off the arm. Looks dope though. I'm really pleased with this. Gonna lower this a little. Or actually, why don't we bring it up? Take these and move them up a ways. Still poking through. See, I'm making this masterpiece. Meanwhile, I kind of want to get into Blender. Oh, right. It's Blender. A lot of work at the start, but once you get going, it's addictive. I agree. And nowadays, there's so many tutorials to get you started. You've been making mechs for years from the looks of this. Well, thank you. Thank you. I do feel like I'm just evoking memories of making Gundams. It's like, oh yeah, and then the joint goes like this. And I definitely drew a lot of mechs when I was a child. A copious amount. Ungodly amount of mechs. Oh, so cool. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. All right. We want a little metal platform connecting these two pieces. So take this right here, duplicate, separate, move it over. Bam. Bam. A bow. Yeah, they should intersect. They should intersect. Basically just trying to cover up all this stuff. I'm okay with that. Beautiful. Okay. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Sorry, let's make a random sound now. Okay. Just gently moving those over. Where's the copyright free The dishes call me, BRB. Where's the copyright-free Gundam adjacent music when you need it? Hit me with Gundam, stat. It's been a while since I've seen any Gundam anime. They should go watch some. Have I even ever actually watched? I feel like I've always started Gundam anime and I haven't finished it. But I've seen a bunch of people make fan art for the most recent one. With the girls. I forget their names. The redhead and the white-haired girl. Man. Never seen either. Don't think it was shown here, or at least not popular. Gundam's always had a tougher time. The models have not, but the show definitely has been a lot less popular here in the States. Or just Gundam shows in general. Maybe a little too on the nose. Gundams are cool, but the early anime is so long to get through. Hey there, Axes Grid. Welcome back. We're continuing our work on our mech here. Definitely had a Zoids Liger when I was a kid, though. Heck yeah. That's so good. I remember really enjoying the show. I feel like they did a remake not too long ago. I can't really remember, but like got the like Castlevania kind of treatment. Hello, for Eli. Welcome. Hello, welcome. We're working on a mech right now. It's coming out super well. I'll hide this. Easier to see him. And he's got arms too. And wings. Boom. Do. Noise. A noise. Noise. Okay, sorry. Doing my thing. I think we need to fill in this little space eventually. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Axes. Thank you, Furry. It's coming out well. Trying to finish up the little spot here. Hopefully. It's a little different. Robot! Oh, hey there, Psylocke. Hello. Welcome. Vadio was telling me they ran into you at a recent convention. Excuse me. Yes, I'm doing good. Had fun at a con this weekend. I'm glad to hear that. I am glad to hear that. I'm gonna sit down now. I feel like I got a 3D printer recently, so maybe once I get some merchandise, I'll go to a convention. I'll try to table at a convention or something. Be pretty fun. Yeah, I think it'd be really fun. Hello, MJ Schulk. Welcome. It's the lowest price for your model work. I can send you my commission form if you're interested. But generally, I charge about $1,000 for a full from scratch PC avatar. There's some variation in there, but generally that's the type of commissions I look for because it's a little more stable financially. But hello and welcome. And yeah, I'd love to go to a convention. It's been so long since I went to one. The last one I went to was, it must have been, what's the LA anime one? I forget that one. Do I rig as well? I do everything from top to bottom. So sculpting, retopology, view mapping, texturing, rigging, and then VR chat integration and upload on the full package. And I do it full time as well. This is my main thing. This little panel, I'm going to delete the top of. And we're going to use something else to fill this in. Maybe this one. I think I'll just extrude this section over. Hello, Shatter. Welcome. Good morning. How are you doing? Shatter. Say, Shatter. Is that a Digimon? It definitely has some reminiscence of Digimon, but it's my client's custom character. It's their VTuber. Shout out Xena Prygon. Um, there we go. Okay, that should at least fill in some of these spaces here. But yeah, I'll show you the full design in just one moment. So we have the body here. He's got some arms and wings. And then here is the reference. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with how we're coming out, how it's looking. I think I'm going to switch to working on the weapon in just a moment. But yeah, here's the VTuber, Xena Prygon. Or Xena Prygon. Zin's the nickname. Shout out. Shout out. I'll also need to make sure I make this. This is a separate object. I'm going to use it to replace one of the arms. Trying to apply my next school. How goes the modeling? Oh, okay, exciting. Well, I wish you well with your application. It's going really well. Modeling the character. Still in that high poly stage. Hoping to get out of it in soon and get to the retopology probably tomorrow. I'm sure we'll probably do a little bit more modeling as well once we get to that stage because yeah, I just can't imagine it going any other way. Do it in conjunction. Oh, I didn't. Darn it, I didn't bevel both of these. Bam. Then also this one. then bevel. A boom. Okay. Yeah. Like just a little bit of curve goes such a long way. All these furries with fantastical and odd to pronounce names. No one ever makes a simple like Joe. Reminds me of someone I met who's a. My dad was really upset. He named his dog just Bill. It was just not really upset, but just miffed that it was just like a normal name, or maybe it was because it was president's name. Bevel. The curve makes it look expensive. See these curves on my mech body. I'll make it go clap clap and go clank clank. Feel that thing go clank clank clank. There we go. That looks a little bit nicer. Excuse me. Okay, let's make the axe. I've got another 30 minutes. I think we'll be able to make the axe pretty quickly and then probably go on lunch after that. Duplicate this one, and we're just going to move it right to the floor. Actually, how do I want it to be held? I think I'd rather have it be like this. Yeah. Yeah. All right, start with the plane. Man, it's such a cool character design. It is. It really is. It feels extremely feels like it could be its own brand. You know, like I just have like it's from its own collection of toys or something like that. Thank you. Oh, thank you. But and then we'll add a mirror and a subdivision and a bevel. That's what it looks like to me. It could just be round. It's a little hard for me to tell. We'll go with this for now. And I would like to give it the red material. All right. No need to make something else. We'll just take this, duplicate it, and start going at it. Actually, this one will give a solidify. Move it above the bevel. Right about there. And then bevel. There we go. Bam. Indented. Move it out a little. Not sure if this is exactly what I'm looking at in the drawing, but we'll give it a shot. Bam. All right. Dope. Hello, Play. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's your day going? I'm doing well. Doing well. I'll show you what we're working on in just a moment. Gonna be a dragon man. Dragon mech man. So we're working on this character here. And we've got quite a few things made already. So if I go in this view, mech dragon. This is coming out pretty nicely. Pretty nicely. A lot more details we can add, but pleased with the progress. Right now we're giving him an axe. let's sharpen this edge. And these ones. I think we'll leave that for now. All right, now let's make a circle. I guess I used it up. All right, new circle of 8. With a, you guessed it, subdivision surface. Bam. All right, so crease them all. And then a little bit of bevel. Need to copy over my bevel mod. Shade smooth. There we go. And then the top of this will be just big enough for it to wrap around this handle. I guess I could thin this out as well. Perfect. Not quite sure if that's what it's supposed to be. I have one more view of the X right here. It's almost like kind of encased in this. At least in this view. I don't know. That's a little vague. A little vague. Make a plane, move it down, scale it in, cut it. You know, I accidentally missed school for learning D. Oh, well, definitely use your learning to your advantage. Math is important for this kind of work. Programming and math. If I could recommend any two, well, I guess art too, but goodness, what not to learn? Too many things to learn. Man. Let's put the cursor right here. Then object set origin to cursor. Cursor. I like that. I do like that. Then move it up. How do you think school is a big deal? I think any education is important. Depends on what you're learning. Uh, Math, programming, those are things that are intensely valuable because, you know, I'm in the middle of doing a C sharp class. OMGS Drive at Unity has been making it tolerable. Learning changes the way you think, and like it's understated to say that because obviously, oh, it makes you smarter, but it's like I don't think it's just that. It's like there are things that you can't easily get an intuition of without certain types of knowledge. Um, so I do think that, especially math, especially programming, those things they will give you a lot of insight into how to make things. It expands your creativity. Exactly. Exactly. You know, especially I want to make a video game. Programming, worth knowing. I wish I had studied it more. Uh, I'm definitely that's on probably that's very high on my to do list is to go back and study more and learn how to program, um, because I think it is good for you. It's good for the brain. Good for the brain. My school is some kind of prison. um, the best time to learn things is when you're young. That's not an exaggeration in any way. It's like that is when your brain is primed for learning. And the more you can learn, the easier things are going to be later in life. It's just that's just how it is. I kind of wish it wasn't the case. Maybe they'll come out with some sort of wonder drug at some point where you can um, turn on neuroplasticity or whatever. Um, but learning is incredibly important. I think it's unfortunate how undervalued it is in a lot of ways, and I think that's not necessarily a fault of the people learning. It's the fault of bad education, um, and incorrect priorities. Like you should be learning because you want to be able to make things. That's the it's like if you want to get to a point later in your life where you're like, I want to do this thing, you can actually do it. I want to learn how to make these things or lead these people or make money, make a living, help my family. Like all of those things stem from your ability to learn. Like if you don't know anything, then you can't do anything to help the people around you. There are no bad students, only bad teachers. I want to study, but finding to actually teach you is so important. But not. Hey, I mean, I'm not saying I'm a good student. I'm definitely not saying that. I easily distractible, uh, very easily distractible. Um, yeah, school was a challenge. Grades were a challenge, but that's not quite what I mean. You just want to be looking for the opportunities to give yourself new skills. Hello, Mr. Lonely. Welcome. A few people coming in towards the end. I just a heads up, everyone. I will be going on lunch in 20 minutes, so not right now, but just keep that in mind. I will be heading to lunch in just a moment. But hello, everyone. Well, um, anyway, I'm sure you hear it all the time. Play, but definitely find ways to um, your main goal right now is learning how to learn. Like, even if it's stuff you don't necessarily want to know or don't care to know, if you can learn how to just what it takes to get yourself to learn something, that will be the most valuable thing you can do with your time. Even if it's stuff you don't care about, stuff you don't like. If you understand how to be able to take stuff and put it into your brain, that's the most valuable thing you can learn. Like, doesn't even matter what that information is. The ability to understand how you can do that for yourself is profound. I have my home office for the rest of the week, so I'll get to watch your stream while I'm working. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Well, I'm at my home office too. I know Russian. Heck yeah. Yeah, I do not. This should be subdividing. It's getting mirrored and then subdivided, and then we solidify it, and then we bevel it. Anyway, I could rant on about that, but it's one of those things that only time's really going to give you that perspective, I think. It's worth it. That's all I can say. It is worth it, even if it's stuff you don't want to learn. I can if interested. The I just want you to consider if you had the ability to do anything, if you could give yourself to the ability to do the things you want to do anything you want to do without it requiring being interested, that would be a valuable thing to learn how to do. Um, that would be an incredibly valuable skill. It's like if you could make it so that you didn't have to rely on your ability to be interested in that thing to learn it well, that would be worth learning, worth giving yourself. Tell my parents why I have to waste my time in school. Yeah, I school is worth it. Not school. Sorry, school may not be a fun place. Education is profound and life changing. Like, if you can't, if you find that you're not learning in school, like, maybe that's a different conversation. But anyway, the more time goes on, the more I'm like, man, I really wish I could just knew exactly what it took for me to learn something and incorporate those skills. Um, I was just talking about programming. Like, man, how much more would I be able to accomplish if I knew programming? I'm not, yeah, you know your situation best, but if you're looking for my perspective on education, you should absolutely take the time because you're not investing. You you should not be looking at education as, oh, I'm doing this to please this person or make my parents happy. You should be doing it because you are making yourself more capable. Just that and that alone. Like, I will be able to do more. I'll be able to give myself the tools I need to do the things I want to do. That's what education's about. Um, and getting highfalutin here, but highfalutin. Uh, I would encourage you to stick with it. Is what I'm saying. Even if it sucks, even if it's not fun, because I can guarantee you, it doesn't. There's no guarantee it gets easier later in life. But, you know, it doesn't get easier later if you sacrifice your ability to learn these things, then you just don't know those things. No matter how boring a part of school seems, it lays the groundwork for all the really cool, interesting stuff that comes later. I start is to learn C++ and UE5. Those are good goals. Those are good goals. I wish I understood that when I was absolutely X's. So, what are the skills that allow you to learn C++ in Unreal Engine 5? Uh, Math, language, not just programming languages, but actual languages. They say that writers, people who practice writing, make some of the best programmers because they understand how to manipulate language. Um, anyway, I could go on, but I don't want to lecture, even though I'm apparently quite prone to that. um, dispossessed. My mom was a teacher. Okay, my mom was a teacher. I'm predisposed to. Yeah, um, I can only put it this way: sacrificing your education is handicapping yourself. It is just that simple. Like you are putting your life on hard mode if you don't stick with it. It will be so much harder if you don't take the time to take advantage of the education you have. Profoundly harder. Like I love doing art, but like I've seen what it looks like if I know what it's like to not have the ability to support myself, and that is unbelievably hard. I lived the poor starving artist life, um, and I just did everything it took to get out of that space, and I just really cannot emphasize enough. You will not want to be there either. No one wants to be there. um, anyway, I'm ranting. I'm raving. Again, I feel like it's such a weird thing. It's such a profound thing to say that if you can learn things without the need to rely on your interest in those things, you will. That's like a superpower. It's straight up a superpower. And there's a lot of joy in learning things too. what do I think I should do in situations? Work for a goal or a diploma. Um, you should be working towards the things that expand, that push you, that challenge you, and grow you as a person. So, if you think you'll grow your intelligence, your discipline with a diploma, then I would go in that direction. If you think you're more likely to grow it working for yourself or learning for yourself, that's a decision. But I don't think those things are mutually exclusive. If you're set on making games, having a diploma is a great way to get into the industry. If you have a diploma for programming, it'll be much easier to get in the door of a company. And not only that, you will have learned a lot more. Yes, you can learn on your own, but I think for programming, being in an environment around people who are doing the same thing as you is worth having. Um, I liked school not because of the teachers, but because I was surrounded by people that were passionate and learning and wanted to know more. And that changed my life. Of like being next to someone who just is interested in the same things as you and showing what you can do when you learn those things was really, really cool. Um, I wouldn't do it for the diploma. I would do it for the people you meet and the the environment that comes with that. If it's inexpensive, what I will say is a big caveat to that: don't go into massive debt. Education's great, but if you're going to go into massive debt, it's probably not that could make your life a lot harder. Um, I think for me, I went to a community college, which is a much cheaper form of education, higher education, um, and that's what I would recommend. It'll give you a foothold into other colleges, and you can save a lot of money. I mean, I know people who went straight into the most expensive school they could find, and they're still pulling out. I'll be gone by the time you get back, most likely play. I'm going to take lunch in just a moment. Anyway, I think you know, it's easy to say like, oh, you should just go to school. Obviously, people's circumstances don't always allow that. Studying costs a lot, 23,000. Consider which school you have to go to. You know, if there's cheaper options, more accessible options, look at those. Um, because that really is just about your discipline to learn, take advantage of that opportunity. You know, and it's funny because like I'm encouraging people to go to school, but I'm not even doing the things. I'm not. My professional career does not look anything like the stuff I learned while in school. But I became aware of these opportunities by going to school. Um, you may not do the thing you went to school for, but you will get a lot of insight into what you can do. But again, you know, you definitely don't want to go into debt. Debt sucks. That's awful. Oh, that looks cool. Anyway, it's your. I think you'll know what you want to do as soon as you make the choice to do one of them, um, because that's usually how it works. Yeah, it's like it's presented with two choices. You can hesitate forever about making that choice. It's only once you make the choice that you know what you actually wanted, even if you chose the thing you don't want. Just some divine comedy there in life. Anyway, I would do it. I recommend it, but definitely you know your situation better than I do. Easy to be stuck in the high school mindset where you can't think beyond it. The real treasure is what learning at school can get you afterwards. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, because it, it 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 takes a longer perspective of uh yeah. You hit the nail on the head, namers. It really does come down to just being helping yourself be prepared for the other stuff. Let me put it to you this way. This might be a really a good way to put it. If you're looking at, do I go to college or do I just get a job? The real question is, do you think you'll want that job 20 years from now? 20 that job you gave up college for, do you think you'll want that job in 20 years? Because that could be what you find yourself doing is you, that may be the only option you have, whereas college may give you many more opportunities. Now, that's I'll leave it there. I've said enough. And I'm sure everyone else is not particularly interested in hearing me rant about that. Imagine having college courses. Fair, fair. I do think that man, how cool would it be to take my options are blander than rice. I do think that like imagine something like Resonate or VR chat where you could be in 3D and like in logic and programs and doing math like physical space where it's you can take these abstract concepts and make them very tangible. That would be a very fantastic and fun way to learn. I wish maybe education will be that eventually. Also, hello, Golden. I hope you're having a good day. You caught me just right before I'm going to lunch. Um, I will unfortunately be leaving in just a moment. My apologies. But I'll be back. Just ending the first stream of the day. So I can go eat and all that stuff. All that human stuff. But let me show you before I go what we've been working on. I'm not sure if you saw it, but we have this axe here that I'm making. And this is the character we're designing. And here is him. Here's him. I saw. AR learning would be a really cool future for learning at school. 100%. 100%. Like, yes. uh, there's so many things you could really, really make tangible. Like calculus would be way easier to learn. But yeah, there you go. There you go, Golden. Just chug an energy drink that like that mech swaps power cells and keep going. I wish I could. I wish I could, but I know that in about 30 minutes I will need to close my eyes. Imagine having a neat scene collection. It's born of a oh this I didn't realize the axe head was still floating there. Born of suffering the problems of not having one. he's coming out well. He's coming out very well. These look a little. Looks like the normals are messed up here. There we go. No! All right, y'all. Thank you all for hanging out. I will be back in an hour and a half. For anyone new here, I just break my day up into 2 streams, so I'll be back soon. Sorry to repeat myself, but just in case anyone came in at the last moment, careful with that axe position. That may not be VRC appropriate. It was for a brief moment. I create with Sam Dutter Blender more and more every day. Oh, thank you, Namorous. I appreciate that. I am planning on making one sometime soon. Hopefully within like a month. I've been saying that for the past 2 weeks. I actually need to put some time into it, but I would love to make a course. So keep an eye out for it. Lol, don't go. I'll be back. Thank you all for hanging out. I hope you all have an amazing, amazing Tuesday, and I'll see you very soon. Just gonna go eat. I'll be back. See you, Namers. See you, Axes. See you, Arctic. See you, and everyone else that's lurking out there. Much love. See you all in just a moment. Bye, everyone. Bye.